Let me tell you the 3 secret mindset and strategy of wealthy real estate property investor. How they think and invest differently. This is CF Liu from howtofinancemoney.com. Now, in my years advising my top clients, the high net worth clients, you will learn from them that they see things and they do things differently from any Tom, Dick, and Harry on the street. And this is especially true when it comes to real estate property investing. I want to share 3 tips with you, 3 mindset and strategy shifts that you should be thinking if you have reached a level of 5 or 10 property already invested and it's really getting into your nerves and you see that, can I do better than this? Now the answer is can, but you have to listen to these 3 tips that I want to share with you. Now, number 1 that you can learn from the really wealthy investor when they are investing in real estate property is that they really don't have time, and certainly they don't want to manage all these tenant related issues described above. Their time as a wealthy individual is better spent on other higher ROI things like their businesses. That is why they prefer to buy and invest in commercial properties for long term. Now, furthermore, commercial real estate property tenants are more sticky because no businesses renting commercial properties want to move if their businesses are doing good. Yes? In addition to that, landlord can sign longer leases for commercial real estate properties, and in some cases, the rental lease even comes with an automatic rental escalation clause. Now, despite this fact, tenants are more than happy to pay a higher rental every year if their businesses are thriving in that location. Now, number 2, wealthy real estate property investor wants high control over the investment. This element is really lacking when it comes to residential real estate property investment. Why? Well, it's a tenant's market when it comes to residential real estate, and this is not likely to get better in the future. Landlord for residential real estate normally has less negotiation power when dealing with tenants. Not to mention that the fact it's a very overcrowded space because the barrier of entry when it comes to residential property investment is low. Apartment or condo just cost like $500,000 ringgit to invest in versus a commercial property that costs probably like 1.5 or 2 million when it comes to a shop lot and whatnot in a prime area. Now picture this: when you are a landlord of an affordable price studio apartment, you are competing against 99 other landlords working in a 9 to 5 job in the same building block as yours, who will not hesitate to undercut you when it comes to the rental rate. And these people, they don't mind to undercut on the rental rate because they are desperate just to get the units at least tenanted so that they are at least not cash flow negative. Now compare that being a landlord of a commercial unit. You likely have the high negotiation power and able to say to a prospective tenants, take it or leave it, especially it's in a strategic location. Now, this may be counterintuitive, but the fact that is that most commercial property leases are signed on a basis of triple net lease, where the tenants pay, building insurance and maintenance and things like that, which means that you don't have to pay that, and which means that there will be more of those net rental received in your pocket. You see, no wealthy investor, when it comes to tenancy related issues, no wealthy investor want to have the time to have to deal with things like fix a broken toilet that the tenants complain about, or fix a lamp at 2 a.m. in the morning. Now, after all, wealthy investors are not desperate for rental cash flow to cover their mortgages repayments, especially if you can afford to buy the property in cash. Now, wealthy investor, truly they are not using property investment to get rich. Instead, property investment is just one way for wealthy investor to park their wealth for long term. To transition from from a normal property investor mindset to a wealthy investor mindset. You need to remember this. Now, number 3 is that wealthy investor wants to maximize their return on their investment better than others. In other words, the mindset of maximizing result with minimal effort. Think about it. Most commercial properties are rented out bare, are rented out empty. Now, requiring no renovations on the landlord part. Thereby, the landlord do not need to furnish the unit so that it is rentable, which means that you actually don't need to pay, use your own money to pay for the renovation before it's rented out, because all renovation costs are normally borne by the tenants when it comes to commercial properties, whom surely need to customize, the layout, the fixtures and all that per their business premise needs, which also means tenants in commercial properties don't easily shift out from the premise because they are invested a lot in the renovation. Now, this is another logical factor contributing to the fact that tenants for commercial properties are actually very sticky compared to tenants in residential properties who can just pack their things and leave in 24 hours. Because they are doing business and they have invested a substantial sum in the premise renovation, tenants in commercial real estate property will take good care of the unit itself compared to tenants renting a residential property. And I hope these 3 tips will get you an aha moment and shift your mind of how you might want to transition yourself from a residential property investor to a commercial property investor. Of course, if you have reached a level where it is time for you to upgrade yourself. Now, before we wrap, we just want to give a big shout out to Paramount Property for sponsoring this video. If you want to check out all the property projects by Paramount Property, look for the links in the description box below. Please go and check it out. Always buy and invest safely and profitably in real estate properties by doing your own homework and only buy from reputable developers like Paramount Properties.